Okay, so in today's video about Algorand, we are going to check out the live chart a bit, but the focus of today's video is not really going to be on the technical analysis side of stuff. No, today's video is going to be mainly about the news, and we are going to see what is going on in that area and why am I still absolutely optimistic on Algorand. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones, and let's just start from here and see what the CEO of BlackRock has to say.
Crypto is going to play a big role. Digitization of currency, digitization of everything we're doing. I'm a big believer in this. Is one thing that will change Bloomberg even. I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks.
It's coming.
And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and stocks.
Okay, so if you remember, a couple of videos back, I actually talked about this piece of news, which was tweeted by Algorand Foundation and said, congratulations are in order for the Exodus team on their NYSE listing. The Exodus common stock token is tokenized on the Algorand blockchain, and this is exactly what the CEO of BlackRock is talking about. This has already been done on Algorand, which is fantastic. And I told you before, this kind of sets a precedent, because if a company is collaborating with you and the results are positive, that sends a very clear message to the other companies that are working in that area, and they are going to be like, well, okay, this has worked, why shouldn't we do it? And as a result of that, you are just going to see more and more adoption. And I will actually give you one more important example based on this in a minute. So as the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, said, tokenizing bonds and also stocks are definitely the way to go. And Algorand seems like that is active in that area, which is fantastic. And the future, I think, for ALGO is definitely bright in that area. On to the next piece of news. Where was it? I think it was right in here. There we go. So as you can see, according to this tweet, Travel.com has joined forces and integrated with Trivago. This means the 120 million plus monthly website visitors across 190 plus countries where Trivago operates can now use Algorand and Algorand's stablecoin USDCA to pay for 2.2 million new hotels and properties. And this, my friends, is a very classic example of real world use case based on Algorand's blockchain. And I'm not here to say that all of these people are going to use Algorand to pay. Absolutely not. But even if a fraction of them are going to pay with Algorand and Algorand's stablecoin, that is definitely going to be one step towards the positive direction. So again, if you are looking for some real world use case, this is definitely a very classic example for you. Now, in another tweet, they say Algorand's entire chain history is quantum resistance in a post-quantum world. This provides an ideal level of security for many use cases, ensuring data remains tamper-proof. For instance, it could be excellent for tracking government spending, and they mentioned Doge in here. Now, I believe, talked about this in the previous videos. I'm not really sure if Doge is going to go with Algorand on this one, because for that, you kind of need some serious lobbying power. I'm not really sure that Algorand has in it. I'm thinking XRP Ledger might be a bit realistic. But again, this doesn't mean that Algorand is not a great candidate. It is a fantastic candidate, especially because of that quantum-proof chain history situation. But again, like I said it earlier, you need some serious, powerful lobbying for this thing. Now, in another important piece of news, according to Algorand Foundation, they recently had big developments in Nigeria, and it seems like that a lot of projects are trying to be active in Africa and overall in that area, which is to me very fascinating. For example, we also know that ICP is also very popular in South Africa, and that's definitely interesting, and I do think that there is something there. They say in here, in a session with Algorand Foundation delegates, the Nigerian SEC Director General highlighted that blockchain technology will boost efficiency and aid capital market regulation. So again, it's definitely nice to see that Algorand does have some nice relationships with Nigerian authority, and hopefully they are going to be able to build up on that one big time. Now, you remember earlier I said that every single successful collaboration that Algorand has with a company sets a precedent for the other companies, because those who are active also in that area as well will see the collaboration and they are going to say, well, okay, this has worked, we should also do it and collaborate with Algorand. Okay, here is a very clear example for you. Recently, Eureka official hosted the Prime Minister of Mongolia at their call to solar project site with UNDP. Using Algorand, Eureka enables households to sell verified emissions reduction certificates, helping finance the transition to clean energy. And if you remember, in the previous videos, we talked about the big partnership between Algorand and Enel Group, which is also active in solar projects. So you can kind of connect the dots and see how Algorand is creating a network and just trying to build up on that one, which is great. And this is the kind of news that you like to see. You want to see your project being very active and attract just more and more adoption if you care about the fundamentals. If you do not care about them and you care only about the price, well, I guess this video is probably not for you. But for me, who's kind of a traditional investor, these things matter and they matter a lot. So overall, fantastic news for Algorand, and they are, in my opinion, definitely on the right direction. Now, if you're interested in technical analysis and the price, okay, let's go on the live chart, and maybe we should go on 30-minute time frame and see what is going on. So if you remember the last time that we talked about Algorand, I believe we had this big move on the downside and this bounce back, and I was saying, look, this can actually be a 5-wave impulsive structure on the upside, and you can argue that the bottom is in. But I made a very important point in that video, and it was this: nothing goes up straight. Okay, that's why I was saying, look, in Algorand soon, and probably in a lot of cryptos, we are going to have some moves on the downside, and you need to pay very close attention to the shape of those moves. Okay, because if those are going to be slow and choppy moves down, well, okay, that's a very important characteristic of a correction structure and not an impulse. And then you're going to be able to say that we are having a bullish setup. And for example, this can be, in Algorand at least, 5-wave up into a larger degree wave 1, correction structure into wave 2, and after correction is over, we can get a big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. Now, the question is, do we actually have in here a correction structure or not? Or maybe this is an impulse and we are just going to get a very straight move down in order to continue to set lower highs and lower lows. Well, there is no certainty in any market. There are only probabilities, but based on what I'm seeing so far, I can actually tell you, you know what, maybe this is a correction structure. For example, I can say maybe starting from this point, we are having 5-wave down into wave A, and this move maybe to about here or maybe here, doesn't really matter, can be a correction for wave B. And at the moment, we might be on our way to complete the subwaves for a C leg. Now, in an ABC zigzag, you must be able to find 5-wave down into A, correction for wave B, and another 5-wave down into our C leg. And if you want to argue that the end of our B leg is going to be right in here, okay, you can say maybe this is going to be, excuse me, wave 1. This whole move is going to be a correction for wave 2. I would say probably an ABC flat structure. And at the moment, we might be on our way down to complete a wave 3 and then correction for 4, another move on the downside into wave 5. Now, a very important point about this move: you shouldn't actually trade Algorand right now. Why is that? Because who knows, maybe instead of an ABC zigzag, this is going to be a 1, correction for 2, big move down into wave 3, correction for 4, another move down into wave 5, and who knows, we might even in this move take this low right in here. So what should we do right now, in my opinion, is just waiting time. We need to wait a bit more and see, are we going to, after this move down is over, get a move on the upside in order to take these highs or not. If we take these highs, fair enough, that is going to be a fantastic sign suggesting, you know what, probably the bottom is in on Algorand. So for now, I believe that we are definitely looking good, but we shouldn't really jump into any unnecessary bullish conclusion. Let's wait this one out a bit more and see after this move down is over? Are we going to have a very strong bounce back in order to take this high and especially and hopefully get back above this very important level, do a pullback and a continuation of the move up or not? If we do this, that is going to be fantastic for algo. And if you do not care about any kind of short-term price action, then okay, what do we see starting from the highest high? Let's actually go on a less busy chart, excuse me, maybe from crypto.com. Okay, so far I can tell you, if you again do not want to be involved in any kind of short-term price action, okay, this is going to be kind of a three-wave movement. So if you want to be bullish with quite a bit of confidence in the midterm, you just have to wait a bit more and see a move up in Algorand in order to take this high right in here about, let's say, 49.5 cents. Now, why is taking this high matter quite a bit? Because if we take this high and we get our move up starting from the current point, how exactly are you able to find from this high to about here an impulsive structure on the downside? For me, it's pretty impossible to find a 5-wave down. And again, in the interest of never saying never, I'm just going to say this. Even if it's possible for me to find an impulse in here, it is going to look so odd and weird, which is going to make me say, you know what, that's probably not going to be my primary case. And according to my primary scenario, at that point, this whole move down is indeed going to be some sort of a correction structure. And I do believe that overall in Algorand, we are dealing with a correction. And after our move down is over, we are going to start another fantastic phase of the bull run. And I told you before, the target for this phase, the bare minimum target, again, this is a very important point. The minimum target is going to be reaching to somewhere around $8. And I think once the next phase starts, that can happen in a very quick heartbeat. So the overall structures in Algorand, in my opinion, do still look absolutely 100% bullish. But in the short term, that doesn't mean that right in here is a good long opportunity. Let's wait this one out a bit more and see, are we going to, after this move is over, start another move up and take these highs or not? And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.